Screen Capture 1 Predictive Programming Last Man on Earth 2015. Now we will look at the first episode of Last Man on Earth titled, Alive in Tucson. Original air date is March 1, 2015. That's 2015. After a virus wipes out most of humanity, average man Phil Miller, Will Forte, scours North America for other survivors but finds no one. During his travels, he paints, Alive in Tucson, on billboards and highway signs, hoping others might see the message. Returning to his hometown of Tucson, Arizona in the summer of 2020, he moves into Bonita Estates, a luxurious, gated cul-de-sac, hoards priceless artifacts and adult magazines, uses a pool as a toilet, and breaks or destroys whatever amuses him. About 5 months later, he feels lonely and depressed with no one else to celebrate his birthday, so he adopts assorted sports balls as buddies and draws faces on them, then flirts with a mannequin. Finally, just before he attempts suicide by driving a truck into a rock, he suddenly sees a pillar of smoke and finds a campsite with a bra on a clothesline. As Phil gleefully sniffs the bra, he passes out and is then revived by an eccentric woman named Carol Pilbazian, Kristen Skull, whom he talks out of shooting him. Now that we have covered the beginning of the virus-based TV show set in 2020 from 2015, we will advance to Season 3 Episode 41 entitled Got Milk. It aired March 5, 2017. In the first year of the virus outbreak, Pamela Brinton, Kristen Wiig, and her husband Benjamin, Timothy V. Murphy, are wealthy socialites. As an auction at Pamela's foundation that saves dogs begins, a party guest named Leonard catches the virus. The next day, Pamela's friend Catherine, Laura Dern, and her husband Robert purchase a new underground bunker, while Pamela fears the worst upon learning her maid Christina, as well as Mike Pence and his presidential successors, mostly from Donald Trump's cabinet, have died. Benjamin soon catches the virus too, so Pamela escapes with her dog Jeremy to Catherine's house and finds her dead. She then leaves for Catherine's bunker and, over time, bonds with Jeremy and celebrates various holidays. Using a surveillance drone, she investigates life on the outside. 3 years later, the drone spots Tandy's group in Malibu, but it stops working when Melissa shoots it, which was depicted at the end of the second season. Pamela chooses to go above ground.
Okay, auction time. Seems like everyone here has got the fever for the flavor. Alana, what are the headlines?
Flooding in Tennessee is expected to continue through the weekend. President Pence plans to visit the affected areas. The Federal Pandemic Agency has released new guidelines for combating the emerging viral outbreak.
It's under the ground.
What do you mean?
It's a bunker. It's like a bomb shelter or something where paranoid people go and live when they think it's the end of the world. Talk about overreacting. It's just a bad flu season. You wash your hands, you don't buy a bunker, am I right? There's got to be a vaccine.
Pamela, we talked about this. There is no vaccine.
Well, something fishy's going on, if you ask me. You mean to tell me the President of the United States doesn't have a vaccine?
And there's the presidential hearse as they head towards Arlington Cemetery. Michael Richard Pence, 46th President of the United States, dead at the age of 61.
All right, there you go, Pamela, leveling off. Oh, I can see everything. Well, if it isn't news anchor Lester Holt. Today's news, yum, yum. Today's news, today's news, today's news. Oh, what do we have over here?
My name is Pamela Brinton. Je m'appelle Pamela Brinton. I'm in a bunker. Please come find me. No!
Fatal error. Unit lost.
Now that we have been exposed to some of the Fox Media Corporation's predictive programming information regarding Mike Pence being the 46th President of the United States and having passed away from the virus, we have also been given his age of 61. Which, by the way, is of this year 2020. He turned 61 on June 7th of this very year. Let that sink in as we proceed with this mind-boggling information. Moving forward, I would like to bring to your attention two more very interesting observations related to this television series whose running time covered the years 2015 through 2018. Hold on to your hats. As if what we have covered was not enough to chew on the rest of this year. Now we will backtrack to Season 2 Episode 17 overall and 4th of Season 2. The title of this episode is, C to the T. Now when I see C to the T, I think conspiracy theory. This episode in a series about a virus wiping out the majority of humanity aired on October 18, 2015. If you were not aware, let me inform you of an event referred to as Event 201, which began October 18, 2019 and was a coronavirus pandemic simulation. Event 201, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted Event 201, a high-level pandemic exercise on October 18, 2019, in New York, New York. The exercise illustrated areas where public/private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences. As if a TV series with predictive programming was not enough, now we have a pandemic exercise 2 months before the first cases of the coronavirus hit the world stage in Wuhan, China. Now back to Season 2 for Episode 19, just 2 episodes away from C to the T. The title of this one being, A Real Live Wire, which aired on November 8, 2015. With Phil on strike from doing work, Tandy and Todd decide to solve the group's power crisis themselves by putting up solar panels, but they cannot find out how to stop a live wire from sparking dangerously around the area. Tandy reluctantly asks Phil for help, only to have Phil punch him upon mentioning Carol. Meanwhile, Carol attempts to convince the other ladies in the group to try to have babies, but each refuses for various reasons. In the end, everyone takes Tandy's side and suggests Phil take a turn in the pillory, but Phil chooses to leave after he shows them an on/off switch to the solar panels. Before he departs, however, he professes his love for Carol and begs her to leave with him, only to have Erica announce that she is pregnant. 3 years after the air date of A Real Live Wire, to the day, November 8, 2018, a devastating fire that killed 87 people and destroyed the town of Paradise, California, was blamed on a sparking transmission line maintained by the Rothschild overseers of the power company PG&E. I remember this well because I captured video of President Trump saying pleasure instead of paradise twice on the 17th of November at Paradise. Here is the clip.
Big as they look on the tube, you don't see what's going on until you come here. And what we saw at Pleasure, what a name right now. But what we just saw, we just left Pleasure for Paradise. And what we just saw at Paradise is just, it's just not acceptable.
President Trump. When Back to the Future Part 2 was released, businessman Donald Trump had accrued a certain measure of success, but he was mostly known to people in the New York area. Most of them watched the movie without ever suspecting that the future version of Biff, who uses his ill-gotten wealth to build a casino empire that serves as a springboard into political power, was based on the mogul. In an interview with the Daily Beast in 2015, the movie's writer, Bob Gale, explained his intentions.
Donald Trump was one of several of those types of guys that we thought about and modeled Biff after, yes.
In part 2 of my chinwag with Bob Gale, the Back to the Future creator explained why he modeled Bully Biff on Donald Trump, as well as discussing the 2015 predictions he got right and wrong.
That was a total surprise.
And he gave me his thoughts on some of those crazy fan theories.
If you give people enough information, they can put it together in all kinds of different ways and believe anything they want.
In closing, we have just witnessed a chain of events appearing to be connected and encapsulated within the parameters of a TV series viewed from the years 2015 with projections to the year we are presently in, the year 2020. And with the conditions we are experiencing, i.e. a viral pandemic. There is another form of media that contains all kinds of connections from past events that related to our present-day conditions as well as our future events. That medium is called the Word of God. It's coming to pass. I hope you will learn more about it. Thank you for watching.